Then what we do is export support, generate copy. Then we jump into our Bladefall build or whatever build you are running and go into party and clear, and then throw in the link, press import, and then all of the relevant modifier are imported into your character. For the last couple of days, I've been working on how to improve my mercenary, and for those who know me, know what's coming, I have created a spreadsheet. Well, I've been thinking, how can I improve my mercenary, which one do I really want to use, and what is the gear I want to equip them with? Well, for this I created this spreadsheet. Well, aligned in strength, dexterity, and all the attributes, I have created a list of possible mercenary gear. This is not a full list, there might be some things that I have missed, but I've gone through a whole lot of threads, of ideas, of builds, and looked at a lot of items, and threw together a list that shows why it is here. Oh, I do think it's... yeah. Fixed. And threw together a list of a lot of stuff that you can use. Well, a lot of you might have seen this list already because I've shown it on Reddit and the post actually got quite a bit of traction. And so I went on to improve this list and go a bit further. This tab here is kind of outdated and I will probably just delete it because I have a much better solution for this. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I'll improve it a bit as well. But generally, we've gone through uniques, amulets, rings, rings that work well with other rings, spells, anoints that are supportive, anoints that are interactive, in the form of they work together with some other mechanic in some circumstances, like additional projectiles. I rather put in interactive than in supportive because they're just like there for different reasons, or like inexorable, like increased chance to gain endurance charge when you hit, when you're hit. Like that's interesting for sharing endurance charge and stuff like that. And then carry augments. Of course, this list is not exhaustive, and there are a lot more that are cool, but I do think for supportive, which is the most important set of anointments, I should have hit all of them. So very interesting list here. And we have corruptions, eldritch implicits, though this one really is not very complete, and I'll show why in just a second. Because what I've been working on is creating an overview of what kind of merc can use what kind of items, has which attribute requirements, and well, you at the left here see a PoB template which is empty, and that's because I have not yet finished it, but I have started working on it. And what you can see here is a path of building link with a whole lot of items. This is just the strength mercenary variant. Of the rares, I will not add it for all of these. I created all of the rare items with all of the mods I do think are interesting to the mercenary or are worth putting on items you have. So for example, on the amulet, all of these are interesting corrupted implicits. On the ring, there are interesting corrupted implicits, there are interesting delve mods. For the heavy belt, or for the belts, there are interesting corrupted mods, and so on. Then we have Ether modifier, Exile modifier, corrupted modifier, we have again Ether, Exile modifier, we have Shaper modifier, Elder modifier, Crusader, Hunter, etc. All of the mods that I thought would be interesting, I compounded into items here, so you can have a look at, for example, well, I want to see the placeholder on armor. What are armor mods that are not unique I can put on my items? Or when we go for corruptions, what are corruptions on belts that I can put on my unique belt, which, well, then are pretty good. For example, I want to run Pyroshock Clasp, is a pretty good belt, but then let's see what kind of corruptions do I want here. And then we can just put them in. As I said, for the strength template, there already is everything in. However, depending on when you're watching this video, not all of the templates will be there. Very specifically, right when the video releases, only the strength variant will be there, because it takes a lot of time to create these templates with all the weapons or the armors or the everything. And I will probably do it throughout the weekend, because there I am not home. I, well, don't have time for streaming or playing. So I'll probably just get a laptop or something and throw together the PoBs where all the templates are set. However, this template can be used for all of the mercenaries already. You just have to adjust these skills and everything. Later on, there will be a template for all of the different classes and maybe even every single specific mercenary, but actually I might just not do that because it might just not be worth it. So just running a mercenary that has, for example, anger and determination. I'm actually not sure if there's one. You activate this and click these two, then you have determination and anger. Put them to respective level. I do think 23 or something is the level 83 mercenary level. So this basically is how this stuff works. And there's like the cries and the curses and decoy totem, consecrate path for consecrated ground, etc, etc, etc. And then you just put the items in as I said. Then the most important thing is, how do we use this? Well, for that I have created earlier the template for my how it's called, the shock ambusher, with the gear I want to use. For example, Shaper Siege with influence. Here I don't even have a corruption on it. Then we have the Archon's Tools belt, which just doesn't work yet. We have the boots and Extraordinary Fate with a body armor, Garb of the Ephemeral, helmet, a Lear cast, and then 2 daggers with trap strength speed and zealotry increased aura effect. Then what we do is export support, generate copy. Then we jump into our Bladefall build or whatever build you are running and go into party and clear, and then throw in the link, press import, and then all of the relevant modifier are imported into your character. So here you can see a zealotry with 200% aura effect, increased damage 50% from the helmet and stuff like that. However, this does not cover everything. It won't cover, I do think, like exposures. It doesn't cover stuff like nearby enemy take increased damage. Actually not sure, that one might be covered, but it does not cover everything. It does cover war cries, it does cover links and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff it does cover. So just test around with what exactly is covered, but this is the usual implementation for support characters, and most of the relevant stuff will work. So with this, you can very easily just jump into your mercenary loadouts. Here I was checking how a Kingmaker setup on the Playing Link support was working, and I didn't throw in all the gear. I was just like, okay, let's see, with plus 8k life, it is at like 9k life. This is very doable on a mercenary. And then see, okay, what happens if I do export this one, generate copy, go back, Bladefall live, party, clear, and throw this one in, and then I see it's actually pretty bad because the Flame Link just isn't as good as I hoped it would be. And yeah, over the course of the next days, I'll probably do a lot more testing. And here I do have the mercenary templates. I said only strength mercenaries in yet, but later on there will be more. And also what I want to do is check what the exact levels of all the auras are, at which levels. So for example, if you have an 83 or an 84 merc, what actually is the difference? How big is it? Is it worth hunting tier 17 maps for a like 84 mercenary and stuff like that? So yeah, there's a lot more stuff to come, but I was like, this is actually in a state where I can present it, where people can use it, and where it is actually doing something purposeful and being helpful. So I wanted to add it. So we are adding the strength link here right now, so we can see what's doing. And yes, just grab the link, play around with it, check out the spreadsheet. I can't talk today, I'm sorry. Have some like blister on my tongue which prevents me from talking properly. Oh yeah, I'm a notorious lip biter, so yeah, constantly having trouble there. Way too much information, I know, but yeah. This is everything I wanted to talk about. Kind of cool spreadsheet I have been working on, and I will continue working on. And if you see if there's something wrong with the spreadsheet, or if there's well, setups you want to showcase, please let me know. If there are enough, I will probably just create another tab, showcase PoBs, and then just make a list of mercenary loadouts you can send in and just let me know. So I will add them into the spreadsheet, and yeah, this should be a quite interesting or quite cool way to make different setups and to show people inspiration and show what cool variants of mercenaries there are, because as I said, this covers quite a bit, but I've seen so cool mercenary loadouts that I'm very interested in what you have cooked up. So if this was helpful to you, or you find my work overall helpful, let me know in the comment sections. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next one.